A massive flush out of the late longs within the market, but the question is, will the late shorts be flushed in the exact same way, meaning that price should revert back towards the upside? That's what we're going to assess in today's show. We're going to also have a look at the real world assets, and then we'll determine, was this a crypto bull trap or was it just simply a shakeout? So we're going to have a look at this and a whole lot more. Let's start off over here, of course, looking at the Bitcoin halving countdown clock, which you can see is ultimately suggesting that there's only 9 days, 10 hours left to go before the halving cycle does take place. And historically, that has been ultimately a sell-off event, or at the very least a consolidation. So we're going to pick these strong altcoins, the ones that should continue to perform for the rest of the cycle. That's been in the real world asset sector. We're going to have a heavy focus on that today, having a look at those coins and how you can allocate into those positions at the right point in time. Looking at our overall trend on the weekly time frame, it continues to remain towards the upside. Bitcoin is holding above those key critical levels, but only literally by an absolute thread, that being the prior all-time high at $69,000. And we knew it would be no easy task for bulls to flip this level. You can see, look at the candle closes on the weekly time frame. This is what you really want to focus on, is how much time has been spent below versus above. Well, so far we've spent 1, 2, and this is now the third week above that level. It's going to take a bit more time, probably a couple more weeks. If bulls can sustain price action above $69,000 for the next 2 weeks, then I would say more than likely we flip this level. So keep that in the back of your mind's eye. We need to see, at least if we can close April above this level, that would be very strong, and will create a springboard for higher prices. So let's continue. Looking at the 5-day chart, which is really our momentum guide, gauging how strong the momentum is within the market for the bulls. You can see that the momentum is running out of steam, which we identified quite some time back, with the short yellow moving average starting to roll over and getting very close to crossing below the green. Now, this is really a do or die area. This is the range that's been developing, and ultimately we'll only really know if this is reaccumulation looking for higher prices or distribution going to lower prices once we break out of that trading range. I'll give you the trading range on the daily time frame in just a moment. Just understand, if we break above those key levels, the momentum will shift back into the market and move towards the upside. And if we break below these levels, well, then it's probably distribution, meaning that you're looking for low prices. And it's probably all going to come down to one very key critical event, that being the high impact economic data, which is coming out today, the CPI inflation for the US. We have the core month-on-month, and then we have the CPI year-on-year data coming out as well. And then later on, I believe that we have the FOMC minutes, right, which is coming out 8 p.m. my time. So for the US market, that's probably going to be a couple of hours before that, most likely around 3 p.m. Make sure you tune in for Run stream later on today. I think that he'll probably coincide his stream with that live event as it takes place with the meeting minutes, because he's traveling now, so he's going to be streaming later on. Okay, before we continue, guys, please do me a massive favor, smash the like button, hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us to get the show content out there. And then also go through to the poll section below and vote. That's in the comment section. Was the recent down move, in your opinion, a bull trap or a shakeout? I always like to gauge what the audience is thinking, so that I can help to adequately talk in line with what you're viewing and try and guide you in the right direction, if more bullish versus bearish. So let me know, shakeout or bull trap. Vote in the poll section, smash the like button, and then let's continue. We're going to make it a pretty quick show, so stay tuned. It's going to be rapid, fast, and let's get into it. So looking at what's happening over here with yesterday's price action. On the show yesterday, we said to be very careful. If you do see a full candle close towards the downside and you have almost a bullish engulfing candle and you lose those moving averages, that would be a major warning sign. This is why it's made it quite tricky within the market right now, because you can see we did get the close below yesterday, or the previous day, the green candle. We closed below that candle's open, or the bottom of that candle, and ultimately that can be viewed as an engulfing candle, right? But we happen to close close above the key moving averages or the exponential moving averages, that being the yellow and the pink one, which is the 9 and the 18. And this has really been helping us to govern the overall trend. But we're trying to identify whether this is going to be reaccumulation or distribution. We yet to close below those levels. If we do start to close below those levels, then you're going to threaten the last higher low that you had. And that means it is probably going to be distribution. And we have to look towards those lower prices. So for the time being, this was a little bit of a fake out towards the upside, but it's a choppy environment leading into CPI, which could also be now today a shakeout towards the downside. And you'll see why when we bring this data up. We'll get into that a little bit more in just a moment's time. For the time being, as long as price action remains above the 9 and the 18 EMA, which is on your daily time frame, there is still some hope. But we also warned yesterday that you do have the bear moon. Now, the only reason that these moon cycles work is because the markets are controlled by emotions and psychology. And what do the moons control? Well, the moons control the tides and the waters. And ultimately, your body is made up majority of water. So I'm definitely not a superstitious person or by any means into any sort of stars and star signs and this and that. Doesn't matter to me, honestly. But when I can use it as an edge in my trading, I put that into action. And since we see a weakening trend moving towards the upside and a bear moon, which is just recently printed, we have to consider that is it possible that we are going to continue to consolidate or at the very least lead into a pullback. That is a real possibility. So we had that as one of the tools in our toolbox, giving us a slight edge into where we think the market may be going. Now, price action analysis rules all. The trend is your friend till the end of the trend. And so long as you see price action that looks like this with higher highs and higher lows and a continued trend towards the upside, even if that trend does start to slow down, but you continue to put in high highs and high lows, I'm going to bet in line with that trend. So I would be willing to give the bulls one more chance to attempt at the highs and attempt at a breakout over here above $71,400. I would now like to see multiple candles close above $71,400 before we can see us move towards the next level. Your next major resistance level is going to come in between probably $78,000 and $80,000. Now, I know that is in price discovery zone, but we're looking at Fibonacci extensions, which lead to that 78 to 80K zone, and that would be the next area of interest. Now, another reason for the sell-off again yesterday, although it was smaller than the prior time, is another day of negative ETF outflows, meaning that Grayscale sold more Bitcoin than what the institutions bought. So it was an outflow day. Consequently, prices came down ever so slightly. You can see that we had extremely positive cumulative liquidation deltas over there. And just like always, this works like a bomb in a ranging market. So to be clear, not that useful in a strong trending market, but now that the market is starting to slow down in the sense that we've just moved from a very, very, very powerful uptrend over here ever since $38,000 was up only. And now we're in that slowdown phase looking at a possible new range to form. So in ranging markets, using this chart by high block capital is incredibly useful. So you can see over there every time, look at that, negative. I know just 1 second, my face is in the way. Let's just quickly move that up a bit. There you go, over there, just above my head. When it goes negative, that marks the exact bottoms, right? When it goes extremely positive in a ranging market, that tends to create the local tops. And now it's gone negative once again. So in terms of longs to shorts, you currently have 253 people, or 253, not people, 253 shorts versus the 211 longs. So slightly skewed towards the downside. It could create the opportunity for a springboard effect and one more opportunity towards the upside. This has been the game plan for the good part of about 7 to 10 days. We've been looking at this as the most likely outcome, which would be a sweep of the highs. Now you can see over here, this is our clear range, right? We have the range high coming in at $73,000, and very simply put, you have your range low coming down to $61,300. Now in a ranging market, you typically sweep both sides. It's just a matter of which one comes first. We said the probability was high that we're going to sweep the top side first, and you can see we got very, very close. But it's not over yet, right? It's not over yet. I would give the bulls one more chance at reclaiming these EMAs. You can see it's attempting to get back above the 50 EMA. Stop losses would go below, over here, below that wick low that we had, which occurred at a price level of $68,200. So you could probably put your stop loss at about $68,100. The trade setup would look something like this. Let's just quickly put it in action over here. So you'd be looking at something like this, and you can trade that to the top side. That's giving you, looking for a sweep of that top side, about a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So I'm actually going to take this trade at just a small position over here. I'm going to enter in over here. I'm going to put my stop loss at $68,000 to reduce the risk ever so slightly. So $68,000. Let's place the order. I'm going to actually just go with a market entry just to fill it right now on the show. And then I'm going to put in my stop loss over there. As mentioned, 60, I don't like round numbers, so I'm actually going to go 67,998 for that level. And then we're going to go for about 63,000. There we go, and $10 for, or $73,010 for the take profit. So a very, very quick trade over there. That is on Prime XBT, by the way. If you want to trade alongside with me on Prime XBT, you can actually go to the link in the description below. They offer a very, very generous bonus, up to $7,000 in sign-up bonuses. If you click on that and you come through over here, or if you know your numbers and you prefer the 25% discount, you can just select that option. You can trade crypto, stocks, commodities, forex pairs, the whole bank shoot. So moving on to those stocks and at least the equity markets, let's have a look over here at how they're doing. So far, they continue to hold up. Very, very similar to crypto, right? If you look at the S&P 500 on the top left over here, we've had an absolutely ripping, enormous move towards the upside. It's been up only for literally since October. You'll remember on this channel, we explicitly called this as a major, major buying opportunity, and we set our target over here at 5,535. We've come very, very close to that level. You're having a little bit of a slowdown phase ranging over here in the same way that crypto is. We expect some sort of resolution from this range, most likely once the CPI data and the FOMC is out of the way. It all depends on what happens over there, right? A lot of people have started to shift their mentality. In January, there was originally, it was priced in that we were going to get, or the expectation was that we were going to get about 8 rate cuts this year. And more recently, that's repositioned into now looking at only 2 rate cuts. But there is no real thought process on, well, what happens if the inflation comes in very, very hot and the Fed decide that they're actually going to increase interest rates once again? For those of you who might be a bit new here and you don't understand anything about these interest rates, very, very simply put, what you do is you look over here at the economic calendar. Here it is. And you can see what their expectation is, right? What they're forecasting. So if they're forecasting 3.4%, the previous inflation was 3.2%, and then it came in at 3.4, which is 0.2 hotter than expected. It's showing an increase in inflation. If this comes out now at 3.6 or 3.7, for example, that's obviously not going to look good, because now you have 3 data points which are showing an increase in the inflation rate, and that would lead the Fed to have to decide, well, maybe it's time to continue to raise interest rates as opposed to cut, because everybody thought that inflation was curtailed and completely under control. But when it comes to inflation, it's incredibly complex. Believe it or not, it's not as easy to wrap your head around as you might think when you're reading a simple textbook. It becomes very, very sticky and difficult to get rid of. So be careful. The Fed could still raise interest rates, and that's not priced in. If that does take place, you can expect that this range is more than likely going to break towards the downside, and it's not the end of the bull market by any means. It would just mean we're going in for a much deeper correction, a much harder sell-off. This would be probably in crypto one of those 40% corrections which we've then seen in previous cycles. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind's eye. Likely leads to a very, very big buying opportunity if that even were to happen. So we will review all of this tomorrow. Make sure you also follow me on Twitter if you're not already, because I'll update you on the in Twitter. And then, of course, you guys know in Whale Room, we always on it, right? With every single thing, you guys are being well communicated to. Okay, total 3. Also forming a bit of a range following a big move. Same place, nothing different over there. The only thing that's changed slightly is going to be the ETH BTC chart, with a big spike up with ETH BTC reclaiming once again that 0.050 level. And now let's see, can it hold? That's the big question. Can it hold that level? If it can flip this into support, you can see you had a nice big move up over here, creating a higher high. So the question is, can you hold this 0.050 level, creating a higher low? If you can, there's an opportunity to break back into this trading range, and we can start to target this zone. Things really begin to change for ETH BTC once you can get above this level. So if you see price action come back down, hold that, break back up, and get above 0.055 and defend this level. It's going to take weeks or even months to hold above this level. Once it does, you know that's when full-blown alt season takes place. That's when Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin completely, and so do most likely the rest of the altcoins, as that is your full-on risk-on signal for the altcoin market. So Bitcoin dominance at that point likely breaks down. For now, same. It's been oscillating around here for weeks. This is a high time frame chart, a weekly chart, and you can see absolutely no changes, capped in the mid-range over here. So just to quickly remind you, this is our range levels, right? Range low, mid-range, range high. You are in a rising wedge formation, which is typically a bearish pattern. But remember, we give this the lowest weighting in terms of priority. What is the highest priority thing that we look at? That's going to be horizontals. The next highest priority is going to be a high time frame moving average like this, which is the 200-week moving average. And then next, we can look at diagonals or chart patterns as a third in the priority list. So that's what we're looking at over there. Also, to remind you, yesterday I made a mistake. I said the winner Bitcoin competition was to be done in the next 5 days, but I made a mistake. It's the 15th of May, not the 15th of April. So you have about 1 month and 5 days left to guess what you think the price of Bitcoin will be on that date. Remember, you can use each one of these exchange links below. There's a section below over here. Use the exchange links below, claim your sign-up bonus. Then you go through to the Banter Bubbles, and you ultimately guess, right? You click on that, you click on Bybit, and you would have to be signed in, right? You have to be signed in for that to work. Put your vote in, and that's it. Okay, let's move into the altcoins. That's your quick wrap up on Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's time for the altcoins. Guys, smash the like button, hit the bell notification if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Also subscribe, and then reviewing the results over here. So this is what you guys have voted. It looks like the majority believe that this was a shakeout, right? The recent move that we had down yesterday is a shakeout. 67% of you think it's a shakeout. The other 33% think, well, that was a bull trap and we are going lower. Cool. So now that we know that, let's get into the altcoins. These ones are in strong trends, right? Real world assets are doing phenomenally well. Let's have a look. We'll dedicate this part of the show purely to real world assets. Remember that BlackRock created a real world asset fund. They launched it on Ethereum. They funded it with $100 million. So it's going to be a big narrative. It's going to be a narrative within this bull run. Every single bull cycle, there is something that becomes a major narrative, right? In this cycle, it looks like real world assets is going to be one of those. So my top picks are these. Okay, the top pick that I have, it's almost in order, is going to be OM Mantra. So if you have a look over here, if you also go through onto YouTube, I don't want to mess around here too much with YouTube. Let's just quickly go there. And we can go to, there we go, Crypto Banter. If you go through to the video that was uploaded yesterday, there you go, by Gustavo. Check it out. Go watch that video by Gustavo. It's only 8 minutes long. Buy $16 trillion now. This is going through the real world assets. I thought, why not help him out and chart some of those real world assets, since I'm already long on a lot of them, right? So here's OM. We looked at this, I think, earlier last week, and we said that, look, we're expecting this area to become the next major high low, and we're looking at a breakout above the top of the range high. Now, if Bitcoin does play ball and Bitcoin breaks above that 73K level, defends it and holds it as support, you can expect that very quickly OM is going to move all the way up towards this 1.55 level. That is my upside target. But for the time being, look at that chart. Absolutely exquisite. As the chart goes, that is beautiful. A very, 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 look at how long that reaccumulation phase was. The longer the reaccumulation phase was or is, the bigger the breakout or breakdown when it occurs. So in this instance, reaccumulation leads to continuation higher and higher, and look at that major breakout towards the upside. This is going to be the level to flip. If you can see it get above 83 cents, that will be very, very significant. Okay, ONDO coming directly into support over there, starting to form a parabola, one of the newer tokens that's out there. You're flipping this into support. This area over here is going to be at 76 cents, so anywhere between 65 and 76 cents. If price action comes down today and you get an opportunity to get in like that, and you see it sweep and then reclaim, that is the long opportunity, right? Stops can go below here, and then you just look to continue to hold within that trend until the trend shifts back towards the downside, and hopefully for your sake it's going to be much higher. Like if you look over here on OM, we got into OM ages ago when it started to break out of the top side of the range, and now we can just continue to hold that. Another one to look at over here is TokenFi. This is the TokenFi chart. This one is coming down. It looks like it's put in a little bit of a miniature complacency bounce. So I wouldn't necessarily buy TokenFi until it comes into this pink zone. I think this is very, very probable. Also starting to form a rounded bottom, a little bit of a parabola over there. Your zone that you're looking for an entry is going to be between 8 and 10 cents. So anywhere between 8 and 10 cents. Watch for that prior resistance to flip into support. It was resistance over here in early March. Then ultimately, as you rip through it, on the 21st of March, you had one wick that came to backtest it, and then it was up only. More than likely, you'll come back to this level to retest it one more time, just to make sure, is it really, really support? And I would say probably it will hold. The other one to look at is PROPC, right? Not that much price history, but this is the chart. This was a strong area of price support. Support breaks towards the upside, comes into this area of support. Maybe you'll get one more sweep down into the zone. I would say more than likely, this candle at $3.70 should hold. So anything around that $3.70 to $4 is fair game for a longer term trade, right? If you're looking to build a long position on prop chain, that's the zone to do it. BOSON, if you go to BOSON over here, let's just continue. BOSON, this one has got a lot of price history, right? So they launched, unfortunately, into the absolute peak of the last bull market. So you had this massive up only move, and then of course distribution towards the downside. Prices come down, and ultimately it's now from a very, very, very long-term reaccumulation phase. Remember what I just showed you. If you look at OM, this one over here, look at OM, very long-term reaccumulation, right? Long-term reaccumulation, huge. This one is lagging ever so slightly. So let's pull it up. There you go. BOSON lagging, right? It also had, same as OM, it launched into the last bull market, came down, very, very long-term reaccumulation, just started to break up over here. Stop losses would, of course, be below those candles, meaning you're going to stop out at about 53, 54 cents. As long as it holds above here and defends this as support, that's a long opportunity, looking to long all the way to the top side at $1.40. And if it can break out, maybe it will, and hold above this, maybe it will start to do what OM's been doing. Okay, IXS is the other one to look at. Now, very, very little price issue over here. So this one's a little bit more challenging to chart, but let's see if we can see something on the 4-hour time frame. So when it comes to these types of charts that you don't have much to compare to, honestly, I'll just dollar cost average into them. It's very, very hard to make any sort of analysis on this. It also depends on how much money you're playing with. If you're somebody that maybe has a smaller bankroll, then you can sit and monitor this, right? And you can simply just wait for the structure to break, creating a higher high, and then you can start to allocate onto the next high low like that. You'd be looking for something like that. Signs of reaccumulation on IXS, which we haven't seen yet. Rio. Here's Rio's chart also looking very, very good. Real world assets, truly, truly crushing it within the market. There you have a beautiful bottoming process. Price starts to reaccumulate, creating higher highs and high lows. And then it pretty much goes full vertical off of the news. Once we knew that BlackRock created this real world asset fund, everything started to spike. So it is starting to form a range, which also can be viewed as a bull flag. There it is, a bull flag. We know bull flags typically break towards the upside, and you can even work out the measured move of a bull flag by looking at the distance from the pole. This would be a conservative breakout level, means that you'd be looking at a move just under $4, just under $4. So that's about 100% move from current price action. If you're looking to establish longs over here on Rio, you'd want to get longs like this, anything that sweeps into that $2 region and holds. You want to be buying $2, and then you can look to take profit at about $4, giving you a 100% move. Okay, CEPO. Here's CEPO. I would wait for it to come into this zone over here at 20 cents, 19 to 20 cents. That is your prior resistance, which you want to see flipped into support. Okay, DUSK. Okay, DUSK has moved quite aggressively as well recently. This one is a very, very sloppy chart, very difficult to chart when I went through this, to be honest with you, because price is just everywhere, all over the place. Huge, massive ranges when it comes to trading DUSK. But you can see over here, you need to be aware of a deviation, right? This is the predominant range. This is the way that I'll treat it. As long as it holds above 42 cents, DUSK has an opportunity to flip this prior resistance into support and continue higher. But if DUSK fails that level, expect your next bounce level is going to be coming all the way down at 25 cents, right? And if that leads into a lower high, yes, you probably could come all the way back down to about 8 cents on DUSK. So that's what your likely outcome on DUSK. You're waiting. Is this going to flip into support? If it doesn't and it loses it, then look down to this zone over here at about 27 cents. 27 cents is the zone. Okay, with that being said, I know a lot of you want to buy these things on DEXs. A lot of you are moving towards decentralized exchanges. You're keeping things on ledgers, which is good. Of course, you want to be safe out there. So I wanted to show you a comparison over here with MintSwap, which is a new sponsor that we have. If you look at the link in the description below, you'll find all the details to MintSwap. Look at the comparison in fees over here. So I ran a quick test. If you're going to convert 0.1 ETH into USDT and we say swap, okay, ultimately let's have a look at the comparison over here, 0.1. Okay, let's see. So when I ran this test earlier, the fees were about 70% lower on fees. So you need to actually confirm the swap. I don't have my ledger plugged in right now, so I can't confirm the swap. But if you go and you actually confirm the swap, you'll see that MintSwap is providing 70% less than what Uniswap is providing on fees, right? So go and check that out. You're coming out with more. There's a link in the description below. They also offer market making. If you happen to be a project and you want liquidity, you can do that as well. But for now, I really recommend check it out. Check out the swap feature over there. Okay, I see all the comments over there. I can see you guys, Larry Pink. I see a lot of Hottie. I thought you were talking about me, but now I see you saying Hottie will flip Pepe. I see Tuka. I see Goldfinch. You want some more gummy info? Todd wants gummy info. Todd's even got a literal gummy profile picture already. Okay, we'll give you some of that. We'll look at some of these as well quickly. So let's go into some of that information very, very quickly. We'll go on to Crypto Banter over here and just go on to the video. Let's pause that. Go through to the link below for Gummy. Launching on 420. Guys, the snapshot will probably happen before then because a lot of accounting data to take hold of. Use the link in the description below. Sign up to BOSON over there. That's going to qualify you, right, for the airdrop. If you sign up to BOSON, you'll be qualified for the airdrop. And of course, you can buy it on the open market if you do want more. What else? What else do we have over here? I wanted to also mention, I don't have it in tweet form, but I'm just going to read to you what I have over here. It looks like when it comes to 𝗏𝗂𝘀𝘀, right? Look at that massive wick towards the downside. And then there was immediate demand that brought price action back up. So I know a lot of the community, you guys are invested in this. Don't get shaken out of this position. It looks like this guy was selling enormous amounts. I'm looking at the order book over here. $51,000, $41,000, $46,000, $12,000, $10,000, $33,000, $28,000, 10,000. One sell order like that. Each of those numbers that I just read are sell orders on a coin that only has a $25.3 million market cap, and yet price was absorbed, right? This was the key level to flip into support. And I mean, I would give that as good as taken. I would say that that's it. The level's been flipped. The trend continues. It's onwards and upwards. Now, it looks like this particular guy sold off about $100,000 worth in 2 transactions. So looking at their wallet, they're out. They're out. That's a good thing, right? You want to shake out these big players, allow new guys that are coming in to establish the new floor price on these memes. And this is what gives it the opportunity to run. Now, another one that we're looking at yesterday, so of course, we posted here, I just want to show you the picture in the DJing calls, is going to be 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢. There he is, in his full glory with his mustache. 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢. Who doesn't love themselves a bit of butter chicken, right? Let's quickly move. Let's just move this back. Oh no, where's this? It's stuck. Give me a second, guys. There we have it. Okay. So what I have to say about this? Well, look, it pumped quite aggressively. We'll go to the 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢. Here it is. Okay. Back to almost $1 million market cap. I mean, before I went to bed last night, this thing was sitting at about $2 million, or even almost $3 million market cap. Judging by these candles, this thing must have literally rallied to about probably about like $7-8 million market cap. Let me know in the comments if you know how far this one actually ran. I'm checking the comments over there. Let me know in the comments, how high did butter chicken run in terms of market cap? Do any of you know? Crazy. So what you need to do now, if this was something that you'd be interested in, observe what price action does. Remember what we gave the tips from 𝗪𝗏, which is one of the meme coin DJs that are running this movement at the moment. He said that, you know, what you really want to see is how enthusiastic is Twitter, how enthusiastic is the community that are holding this token once it does its first 70 to 80% dump. Now, what is the percentage that you got down on this one from there to there? You got 90% dump to the downside. Yesterday, if you put in $1,000 in this, I think you would have had about $2 to $3 million at the high if you bought it at the bottom, which is absolutely unbelievable. Okay, some of you are saying I went to $4 million market cap, 3 million. Yeah, I saw about 2 million just before going to bed, which is nuts. It's crazy. There is some new ones that are coming out, right? There's some new. It looks like the Indian theme is here. I'll let you guys know in the Discord as well when it's considered safe, because we want to see that it's not a honeypot, right? Remember, when it comes to the memes, you don't want it to have a honeypot. A honeypot means that you can only buy, but you can't sell. And consequently, the developers end up rugging you out of your position. This one does not have a honeypot, so it's okay for now. Okay. Again, I'm not advocating that anybody buys this. It's very, very risky. I managed to snipe an entry yesterday, very, very low, probably about $15,000 market cap. I took 80% of the profit off the table already. I left the last 20% for fun. Whatever happens, happens from that point onwards, and it is what it is. Okay, what else do we have? I know that people in Whale Room created a meme coin as well. I'm not going to chart it because I don't know, guys. I need to see what the rules are here with Run. You guys creating coins, but I will tell you guys it's called gold. It seems to be doing pretty well. Okay, let's go into a couple of chart requests. I am monitoring the chat over there. Is there any other requests that you're looking for? Anything else that we want to chart over here? And then also keep in mind, what is today? It's Wednesday. Next week, I'm going to be traveling. So for any of you that are here, I'll still be doing the shows. Just understand that I'll probably miss Monday's show. Okay, Rune. You guys want Rune? I'm also interested in Rune. So let's actually have a good look over here at Rune. I'm very, very keen to build a pretty substantial Rune position. So let's have a look at what Rune's doing. Okay, that's what I said. I said, wait for this zone over here. At the very, very least, wait for price action to come back into this. And it depends when it comes, right? It might do something like that. And then we'll look for the next major higher low on Rune, and that will become the opportunity to enter. This is where Rand says he's entering. So we'll wait to see. We'll see if he's correct. $5.22. Is the level he's waiting for. I would say this is the first major level of support. And this is mid-range, right? Rand's level that he's marked off over here is mid-range. If you view this over here as the overall range for Rune, that would be mid-level. So we'll keep an eye out on that. What else do we have? Okay, Pepe. Let's look at Pepe. Pepe. Let's quickly get Pepe. Okay, this is like a meme coin super cycle. Even the chart requests, everybody just seems to want meme coins. Okay, so these are the levels we said yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before that. There is a possibility that this is not going to hold the bull pennant, and instead it will be viewed more as a range. That's currently what you're looking at. So probably best place to gain long entries is going to be any sweeps that come into the bottom of the range low. So therefore it requires patience. And you might even see a deeper sweep that comes like that, breaks back into the range. You can see the big wick that took place over here. Oftentimes when it comes to the charts, price will fill about 50% of the prior wicks if it hasn't already been filled, which this one has not yet. That creates the inefficiency in the market, and they like to go and grab that liquidity. Okay. What else have we got? Okay, 𝗪𝗚𝗕𝗄𝗃 of BlackRock. Yes, let's go look. I looked at it this morning. It is holding the bottom of the range, right? It's holding the range low, which is a good thing. It will probably take time. So there it is, oscillating between about $2 and $6 million market cap. There's your range, right? There's the 𝗪𝗚𝗕𝗄𝗃 range, continuing to hold that. I still have my tokens. I'm waiting, guys. Send it, please. And I can only distribute or sell some of my position if it holds above $50 million market cap. Okay, what else do we have? 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬. You guys are asking for 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬. Let's see how's 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬 doing. Okay, we need ETH to rally for 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬 to rally. Honestly, I can't see 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗓 rallying without ETH. When the ETH ecosystem takes off, whenever that may be, that's when you're going to see 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗓 run, also holding those range lows. Okay, WIF. You guys want WIF? Let's go to WIF. I still have my WIF long position open, the leveraged one. Here it is. Okay. Honestly, the chart still looks good. Like, yes, this could start to change, right? This could be a lower high. We said be careful of that, but you can only confirm that if you break below the last higher low, which means that you need to see WIF get under $3.22, under $3.22. If it gets under that, then there's a possibility, right? Okay, what else? What else? All right, guys, Welsh Corgi. Let's have a look at Welsh Corgi since I'm right there. Okay, Welsh Corgi, the first meme coin on Bitcoin. It's a dog. Welsh Corgi is a dog. At the moment, it looks like still lower lows and lower highs, but it's a newer coin. So I would say if you don't have any exposure, you'll probably get an opportunity over here at about 0.004. I'm a big fan of Bitcoin. So anything that's built, on Bitcoin, I would be more than likely willing to buy. So although I already have a position, we gave this in December, already in whale room ages ago, I would still be willing to allocate more if I saw something come down like that, if it came to that level. What about WEN? Let's see. Do we have WEN on here? Here we have it, WEN. So WEN is a cat on Solana. Okay, very, very key level that it's coming into in terms of the upsloping trend line. Horizontals, remember, are much more important than diagonals. So this is going to be your key horizontal level. If it loses that trend line, you can expect that WEN will come back down to 0.00019633. So that's 0.3 zeros and then 19633. That's the zone that I'm going to be watching. All right, Dogecoin. Yes, Dogecoin. We have to look at Doge because Doge governs the overall meme coin market, and it's rejecting once again from that very, very key level, creating a lower high. If you start to break below 0.16860, then of course expect that this is going to start to distribute and head towards low prices. Okay. 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. I heard that Run tweeted about 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, so let's have a look at that. I haven't even charted it, 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓. But I mean, look, I'll add it to my favorites. I feel it's like the Lego. It's like the Lego. 1.1 million. Personally, I like to buy things under $1 million. You honestly can't chart this thing. There's, like what must I said, it launched when? Like yesterday. Yeah, literally launched on the 8th of April. I can't chart something like this. I usually focus on market cap levels when looking at these types of coins. You have to ask yourself, is it holding this level or not? So if you have, let's say, $5 million, or sorry, $500,000, is it defending that? Cool, round numbers. Then you move up to $1 million. Is it defending $1 million? If so, cool. Move up to 1.5, then 2 million, and just pretty much increments of $500,000 on the market cap. Okay, SUI. You guys are asking for SUI as well. Let's go look at SUI. Okay, where is SUI? Here we are. Okay, Sui and Say, let's see. Okay, same thing, right? Still the plan. We're waiting for a proper sweep into $1.43. I am interested in allocating part of that cash position that I have into Sui for a much longer term play. So that's one of the coins that I'm looking at. Here you have Say. Say's range lows coming in at 59 cents. So a real possibility that you move into that 59 cents region. What else? What else? Cool. I'll take a few more. Guys. Just a reminder, please check out Prime XBT. Also, go check out the swaps on MintSwap, right? Go check out the swaps on MintSwap. Try them out if you are looking for a 70% reduction in fees. And then do me a favor, smash the like button over there as well. And then I'll take a couple more requests over here. So what else have we got? 𝗓𝗏𝗡. We'll go to 𝗓𝗏𝗡. I see 𝗓𝗏𝗡 was one of the big trades that we gave as well, right? We got into this one absolutely ages ago. It's been doing better than 𝗕𝗎𝗄. 𝗓𝗏𝗡 is doing better than 𝗕𝗎𝗄. Very, very sloppy charting over here. I do apologize because I was just doing rough drawings. I'll have to clean this up. Let's just clear some of this and then we'll get into a couple more requests. But there you have it. This was the old range high. You're now looking to flip that into support. That's the level to watch, right? For 𝗓𝗏𝗡, that's the level to watch. Hold that as support, and then you can start to move up once again. Okay. You guys just want memes, honestly. Okay, 𝗦𝗥𝗡. There's a nice, a larger cap coin, right? 𝗦𝗥𝗡. Let's go to 𝗦𝗥𝗡. Okay, not looking too bad on 𝗦𝗥𝗡. You're still holding the upsloping trend line. You've rejected from the resistance zone. That's why you ask yourself in trading, is this area, did you gain a level or lose a level? Meaning, is this area support or resistance? You couldn't hold that level. You couldn't hold the resistance level at 53. Price came back down. And now you're moving into both the mid-range level, which just so happens to coincide with the upsloping trend line. My circled area over here is the area of interest between about $40 and $45, $40 to $45. That's the zone, right? You want to see, can it hold that level? Casper, another large cap. Let's have a look at Casper. I want to give this one more time because when I look at trend lines, right, if I'm looking at upsloping trend lines like that, typically I want to see the reaction off of that level, send price very, very quickly, like this, right? The first time you touch it, a little bit of a bounce, second time, boom, rips. Now you're starting to spend a lot of time there. You're spending time. When you spend too much time there, the chances are it's going to break down and you're probably going to see something like this, right? If that does happen, I'm a big, big buyer of Casper, and I mean huge. This is going to be one of my biggest positions, I think, leading into the rest of the bull run, but I need the right level. Honestly, I would love to get Casper down here. If I could get Casper down here at the bottom of this range at 0.0933, that would be the absolute sweet spot. And it's going to really operate the way that Bitcoin does, right? If Bitcoin starts to move aggressively, then so is Casper. Casper's also going to move up a lot. So guys, that is it from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Honestly, appreciate each and every single one of you. I will see all of you on the next one, which is tomorrow. Cheers for now.